My wife's affair was exposed by a mutual friend who couldn't keep quiet anymore. I never thought I'd be the one posting a story like this, but here I am. My partner of 6 years, who I'll call Emma, betrayed me in a way I never saw coming. We had what I thought was a great relationship. We laughed together, shared dreams, and even talked about starting a family. Little did I know, there was a whole side of her life she was hiding from me. The truth came out thanks to someone I never expected, our mutual friend, Claire. Claire and I had known each other for years. She was part of our friend group and someone I considered trustworthy. Apparently, Claire had known about Emma's affair for months but kept quiet, hoping Emma would confess. When Emma didn't, Claire decided she couldn't live with the guilt anymore. One night, Claire invited me out for coffee. She looked nervous, almost sick, as she told me she needed to talk about something important. That's when she dropped the bomb. Emma had been seeing someone else for nearly a year, a guy named Josh from her office. Claire had seen them together at a restaurant and overheard conversations between Emma and another mutual friend who was helping her cover it up. At first, I couldn't believe it. I felt like my world was crumbling around me. But Claire came, prepared. She showed me texts between her and Emma where Emma admitted to the affair. She even had a photo of Emma and Josh together at the restaurant. I didn't want to believe it, but the evidence was undeniable. I confronted Emma that same night. She didn't even try to deny it. Instead, she cried and said she had been feeling trapped in our relationship. She claimed the affair meant nothing and begged me not to leave. But how could I stay with someone who betrayed me so deeply? I packed a bag and stayed with a friend for a few days. During that time, I went through every stage of grief, anger, sadness, disbelief. But as the shock wore off, I realized I couldn't let her get away with what she'd done. She didn't just cheat on me. She made me a fool in front of our friends, lied to my face, and disrespected everything we built together. I decided I wasn't going to let her walk away unscathed. If she wanted to destroy our relationship, I was going to destroy the fantasy life she built with Josh. Emma and I shared a lot: friends, financial responsibilities, and even social media accounts we used to manage together. I started with the practical things. I gathered all the financial evidence I could to make sure she couldn't stick me with any shared debts. Then I changed all the passwords to the accounts I had control over, including streaming services she loved, and even the shared social media pages. Next, I reached out to Josh's girlfriend. Yes, he had one. I found her on social media and sent her a polite but direct message explaining everything. I attached screenshots of Emma and Josh's texts and let her know she deserved the truth. She was devastated but thanked me for telling her. Then came the part that gave me the most satisfaction. Emma had always been protective of her image. She liked to play the role of the perfect loving partner in our social circle. I decided it was time for the truth to come out. I didn't make a public post or anything. I'm not into airing dirty laundry like that. But I made sure our close friends knew the real reason for our breakup. The fallout was massive. Friends who had sided with Emma initially began distancing themselves from her. Josh's girlfriend dumped him, and I heard through the grapevine that his reputation at work took a hit because of their relationship. As for me, I'm taking it one day at a time. It's been a few weeks since the confrontation, and while it still hurts, I'm starting to see a future without Emma. If anything major happens, I will update 1. It's been about a month since my original post, and the dust from everything that happened is starting to settle, or so I thought. I figured Emma and Josh would lay low after everything came to light, but it turns out that's far from what happened. Instead, they've doubled, down in the worst way, and the aftermath has been more chaotic than I ever anticipated. After I exposed their affair to Josh's girlfriend and informed our mutual friends, Emma reached out to me. She wasn't apologetic. In fact, she accused me of ruining her life. She claimed I had overreacted by telling Josh's girlfriend and revealing the truth to our friends, insisting that what happened between us was a private matter. She said I had no right to drag others into our personal issues. I couldn't believe her nerve. She cheated on me for a year, And yet she's the one playing the victim? I told her she had no one to blame but herself. If she hadn't lied and betrayed me, there would have been nothing to expose. Her response, she said I was vindictive and that she regretted ever trusting me. At that point, I stopped engaging. I didn't want to waste any more energy on her. But things took a turn when Josh decided to get involved. I didn't think much of him before. He was just some guy from her office. But now I see he's as toxic as Emma. He messaged me on social media, accusing me of meddling in his life, apparently after his girlfriend dumped him, and the affair became common knowledge at work. Things got pretty uncomfortable for him. He hinted that he might take legal action for defamation. I consulted a lawyer just to be safe, and they assured me I had nothing to worry about. I only shared the truth, and I had evidence to back it up. Still, it was unsettling to be threatened like that. Josh seems like the type of person who thrives on intimidation, but I refuse to let him scare me. Meanwhile, the impact on our friend group has been significant. Some people have fully sided with me, expressing their disgust with Emma and Josh. Others, however, have tried to stay neutral, claiming they don't want to take sides. One mutual friend even had the audacity to tell me I should have handled the situation more discreetly to avoid making things awkward for everyone. I also learned more about Claire's role in all of this. Remember, she's the one who exposed the affair to me. While I initially appreciated her honesty, I recently found out she knew about Emma and Josh much earlier than I thought, almost 6 months before she told me. She admitted she hesitated because she didn't want to get involved. That stung. I understand her fear of being caught in the middle, but it's hard not to feel betrayed knowing she sat on this information for so long. On a brighter note, Josh's ex-girlfriend reached out to me again. We've had a few heartfelt conversations, and it's been surprisingly healing to talk to someone who truly understands what I'm going through. She's been incredibly supportive, and we've even joked about how we dodged bullets by finding out the truth when we did. As for Emma and Josh, I hear they're still seeing each other. Apparently, they've been trying to spin the narrative that their relationship is a love story that just happened, and that I'm the bitter ex trying to sabotage their happiness. It's laughable, honestly. They can try to rewrite the story all they want, but the people who matter know the truth. For now, I'm focusing on myself. I've started seeing a therapist, which has been incredibly helpful in processing everything. I've also reconnected with old hobbies, like photography, and even joined a local hiking group to get out and meet new people. It feels good to do things for myself again. Update 2. It's been a couple of months since my last update, and let me tell you, things have escalated in ways I never saw coming.
While I've been trying to focus on my healing, Emma and Josh have been busy digging themselves into deeper holes, and it's oddly satisfying to see karma working in real time. First, let's talk about Emma. After our last interaction, where
she accused me of ruining her life, I thought she'd leave me alone. I was wrong. She started posting vague, passive-aggressive messages on social media, clearly aimed at me. She painted herself as a victim of toxic relationships and claimed she was finally living her truth. At first, I ignored it, but it was hard to stomach when mutual friends kept sending me screenshots. Then, out of nowhere, Emma showed up at my apartment one evening. She was drunk and emotional, begging me to talk. She rambled about how Josh wasn't who she thought he was, and how she never meant to hurt me. She said she felt like she'd lost everything. Her friends, her reputation, even her sense of self. I listened for a while, partly out of curiosity and partly because I wanted to hear her admit to what she'd done. But when she started blaming me again, saying I should have been more understanding, I lost my patience. I told her that she made her bed, and now she had to lie in it. I asked her to leave, and when she refused, I called a friend to come over and help de-escalate the situation. Eventually, she left, but it was clear she's still struggling to accept the consequences of her actions. As for Josh, he's also facing fallout. I heard from a reliable source at his workplace that his reputation there has taken a massive hit. Apparently, his ex-girlfriend shared the details of their breakup with a few colleagues, and word spread quickly. While he hasn't been fired, he's reportedly been passed over for a promotion he was gunning for. His work environment has become so tense that he's been considering transferring to another branch. What's most shocking, though, is that Emma and Josh's relationship is already crumbling. Mutual friends who still keep tabs on them have told me they've been fighting non-stop. Emma's insecurities are reportedly through the roof. She's constantly accusing Josh of flirting with other women, which is ironic, considering how their relationship started. Josh, on the other hand, is apparently frustrated with Emma's emotional baggage. While they're busy tearing each other apart, I've been focused on building myself back up. Therapy has been a game changer, helping me process the betrayal and let go of the anger. I've also started journaling, which has been surprisingly cathartic. Writing about my thoughts and feelings has given me clarity and helped me see just how much I've grown since this nightmare began. On a happier note, I've reconnected with old friends I'd lost touch with during my relationship with Emma. They've been incredibly supportive, reminding me of the person I was before everything went downhill. One of them even introduced me to someone new, a woman named Lily. Lily and I have been on a few dates, and while it's still early days, I feel something I haven't felt in a long time: hope. She's kind, funny, and completely drama-free. She knows about my past with Emma, and she's been understanding without prying. Being with her feels easy in a way I didn't know was possible. However, Emma somehow caught wind of my budding relationship. She called me one night, accusing me of moving on too quickly, and claiming it was proof I never really cared about her. I didn't engage. Her opinion doesn't matter anymore, and I won't let her drag me back into her chaos. In the end, it feels like everything is falling into place. Emma and Josh are facing the consequences of their actions, and I'm finally finding my way back to happiness. For anyone going through a similar situation, my advice is this: focus on yourself, set boundaries, and trust that the truth will come to light. What do you think? Should I have given Emma a second chance to talk, or was I right to shut the door on her for good?